So I just arrived home. I've been watching the matches, almost all of them. I haven't watched the recent Eddie Hall match. I, as I said, just arrived home. So East versus West 19 is going on. I know the Eddie Hall match is also over by now, but I will be recapping almost all of the matches for you. So let's first go back to the stream. The first match was Cire Brown versus Derek Smith. Derek Smith dominated Cire Brown. It wasn't even close. Then I think the second match was between Big Laws and Martin Slices. Big Laws, as expected, dominated Martin Slices. Matt Mask also got dominated by Philip Larson. All of these three matches were expected to be one-sided. I'm not even sure why they were set, to be honest. Again, the same for Jocelyn Brisson versus Gabriela Vasconcelos. That was also always going to be one-sided because Jocelyn lost to even Eglevitquit and Gabriela destroys Egle. So that was another match. And then Pablo Dervida versus Ricard Bowman. That was a perfect match. Whoever set that up, that was literally amazing. Pablo got damaged in that match, and as I have already said in the video that I recorded and maybe uploaded as well, that it wasn't like an unlucky injury. It was because he was handling too much pressure that his body was not ready to handle. That's why Pablo got injured in that match. There was nothing that he could have done about that. Ricard Bowman possesses way too much power. Like, the guy is the future of the sport. I hope you like the new apartment that I bought, the green screen apartment. I don't know what was even the reason behind the rematch of Devon's left hand. Left still made sense, man. Still made sense. Okay, the first match was close. There is no European who is willing to step up, or at least step up to the USA stage. So that's why it still made sense. But the right arm match, what is Devon going to do to Kurdecha on the right, man? Is he even going to come back to the table? Alex Kurdecha was acting weird. I'm sure many of you have watched the match, but Alex Kurdecha was acting pretty weird in that match. No regard for the keeping the elbow in the check to let the match end on fouls, just doing blatant massive elbow fouls. Okay, if Devon was letting him start in any position, he started in any position. I cannot blame him for that, at least not too much. But then, are you squatting in my crib? What does that even mean? I have that same exact apartment. You wrote appointment, autocorrect. Yeah. So right arm match is gonna be destruction. And I didn't really like the way Alex was like behaving in this match. It was pretty weird. I think there are no chance for Alex in both hand. Yes, the left arm match he's already lost. As I said, I just arrived home 30 minutes ago, so I wasn't able to start the live on time, but I've recorded the result of the matches. The Devon match result will be uploaded soon, the video. So now the match that is going on is probably not Eddie versus Robert Oberst, because since I've not watched this match yet, I'm gonna watch it with you. Let's see. What's your prediction? If any one of you have not watched this match, give me your prediction. Robert Oberst basically looks like Philip Larson. The same size, little bit more thicker than Philip Larson, I would say. Same height. Wow, he flash pinned Eddie in the first round, but it was an elbow foul. That was fast. Neil, you're an announcer. Get the hell out of the stage. He's on stage coaching Eddie Hall. Show some professionalism. Somebody fine Neil Pickup for that. He's standing literally in the camera in the. Okay, maybe he's the cornerman of Eddie. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, don't fine him. He's the cornerman of Eddie. But still, man, announcer should not be allowed to be the cornerman of any athlete, even if his wife is competing. Show some professionalism. Again, it was almost a flash pin after the restart. Total hand control from Robert Oberst. Eddie couldn't slip. Eddie couldn't do anything. So they're not even... Okay, another restart. So this time it was a foul on Eddie Hall. How many times they need to do that? Jody was right in center of the frame too. I'm not buying the pay-per-view ever again. I saw a wave of happiness in the arm wrestling community as soon as the departure of Engin was announced. People were starting to say that now they're going to purchase the pay-per-view. Third time again, Total hand control from Robert Oberst, and he controlled Eddie. Too much cupping, too much finger containment, and straight to the pad. Coach Ray is on the commentary table now. Nearly just not just an announcer, he's an announcer and also a commentator. He's leaving his commentary job to support Eddie Hall there. Unprofessional. Devon versus Camille. Yeah, that's the match that needs to happen, the rematch. But before that, we'll see the Vitali match. That's what Devon has said. This time, Eddie gets the height, gets a good start. Great finger containment from Robert Oberst, but he overdid himself. Eddie came back, he regripped well, and he took him down to the pad. That was a great technical arm wrestling from Eddie. Robert was in control, but he tried to have too much control. There was a great regrip from Eddie Hall on the losing side. He came back and he won that round. Robert made a beginner's mistake here. He was the powerful guy. I've not watched what happened later, but he probably should go to the straps at this point. Or at least if he finds himself in trouble. Was there an elbow foul? So they have the review. First time the power to decide some rules goes into Brian Shaw's hand, and immediately we have a review system. Something which I've been literally begging Engin for the last nearly 4 years, and he never introduced that. Never. Engin's logic was clear. You cry in front of the referees a lot, you'll get the review. You don't get the review. And that's not how leagues should operate. Again, there was a foul on Eddie during the review. They found that. False start, another warning on Eddie. This time, Eddie had a perfect hit and he almost flash pinned Robert Oberst. Green screen background, yes, it is. I'm watching the match skipping forward. So, the stream is already 2 minutes 56 seconds, 2 hour 56 minutes long, and I'm at 2:41. Second time Eddie flash pins him again. What happened, man? What happened to Robert? He was looking so awesome in the first round and so awesome in the first ready go of the second round. Is this an endurance issue? Eddie Hall is chanting USA, USA. Great posting style top roll from Eddie off the straps, without the straps. Now Neil is guiding Robert Oberst too. So what happened? Why did he quit after 2-1? What happened to Robert? Okay, injured. Robert is injured. Eddie is a beast, man. The guy literally trains just for 1 year. I mean, he trained for boxing, but then he trains for MMA for 1 year. And he destroys, what was the, Mariusz Pudzianowski? Was that his name? That guy has been fighting for like 5 years now, maybe even more. And with less than 1 year of training, Eddie dismantles him, destroys him. With 5-6 weeks of arm wrestling training, he pins Brian Shaw a couple of times. Or at least one time, and then one round he won on fouls. And now, with a little bit more training, he beat Robert Oberst. You can go back 6, 7, 8 years and you can see Robert Oberst arm wrestling. I'm not saying he's taking the sport seriously since then until now, but Eddie is the man. Eddie learns quickly. Eddie's fast. So the result of this match was 2-1, or should I say 3-1 Eddie Hall, because Robert Oberst quit. When will we see you? 1 or 2 MMA fights. 1 or 2 MMA fights, then I'll fully commit to arm wrestling. This is what Eddie Hall is saying. Did Devon and Alex match done? Yes, Devon versus Alex match was a complete destruction. It wasn't even close. Devon let Alex start in any position whatsoever, wherever Alex wanted to go. Alex was completely, his forearm was vertical, his elbow was not even on the elbow pad even before the start. Devon was okay with that. Devon was okay with him bringing the shoulder in before the go, during the match, crossing the shoulder center line. Devon was okay with whatever. He was saying, Devon was just standing like this, and he was saying, "Just say go, just say go." And right from there, he destroyed Alex Kurdecha. Not even close, 3-0. He could have flash pinned him the third round too, but he made him work a little bit. He wanted him to quit, but Alex didn't quit. So let's record the result of the Eddie versus Robert Oberst match. Eddie Hall versus Robert Oberst. Eddie's second professional super match. The guy is awesome. He's awesome and a quick learner at whatever he does. This time he got flash pinned in the first round, but it was a foul on Robert. Again, Robert showed total hand control, great cupping. Eddie's power level didn't seem to be on the same level. He flash pinned Eddie again. I think this time there was a foul on Eddie. And then third time, with total hand control, just pure side pressure and cupping, Robert pinned Eddie Hall. So it was 1-0. And then after the restart, Robert pinned him again. Eddie reviewed it, and after the review, it was found that there was an elbow foul on Robert. So they redid the round, and after that, Robert seemed to be losing his cupping, or maybe he got injured or something, which we got to know later in the match. He also made a mistake trying to hold on for way too long. He should have let go and get to the straps. After that, Eddie started, I would say, almost hand controlling and flash pinning Robert Oberst. So the match never really went to straps. 2-1 Eddie Hall, and then Robert declared that he got injured, and the winner was Eddie the Beast Hall. The guy is awesome at whatever he does. With just 6-7 weeks of training, or maybe even less than that, he got a couple of wins on Brian Shaw, who's really awesome at this point. Now he's beating Robert Oberst, who has way more arm wrestling experience than him. And he also announced, and by the way, he was great during the match, chanting USA, USA in front of the USA crowd, as awesome as Eddie is. We already know that. And then he also said that he will be full time in arm wrestling after he's done with a couple of MMA fights that he has scheduled, maybe even just one in the end of this year. So after that, we may see Eddie Hall, and we can see him do some great things. He's fast, he thinks well, he acts well. I really like to see the guy on the arm wrestling table. Great win, Eddie Hall. Best of luck for you in the future, and we'll see more of the guy. Thanks for watching. Todzilla Todd Hutchings is making his way to the table as we speak. My prediction in this match, it has to be Dave Chaffey, man. Come on. I'm still 12 minutes behind. Maybe the match is already over. Let me skip forward. Because Dave has too much side pressure, which Todzilla can stop, but then Dave has a press, and Todzilla cannot stop a press. That's Todd's problem in that match. Let's see what happens. Dave Chaffey versus Todd Hutchings. It's on. Wow, Dave Chaffey pins Todd Hutchings in the first round with too much side pressure. It was almost a high hook kind of move, the Dave Chaffey style. You can call it a hook, you can call it a top roll. It was more of a hook. Todzilla slowed it down pretty much, but couldn't stop it. Slowed it down, couldn't stop it. We have seen that Dave gets gassed out pretty quickly if somebody puts him on the inside. On the outside, he arm wrestles quick. Todd has a couple of strap markings on his forearm, drawn on his forearm to let the referee know where he wants to put the strap. Smart move, funny move from Uncle Todd. Will we see any slip this time? Will we see the strap? Or will we see domination by Chaffey again? False start by someone. One warning for Dave Chaffey. KSF News, Arm Wrestling News collab. KSF Academy. Easy slip this time. Easy slip. I did miss the skip the stream. Accidentally clicked on live, so I'll have to go back and watch it again. What happened to Devon right hand match? It's not on yet. It will happen soon. How did they change the sides and the score is still reflecting 0-0? Okay. Yep. I'm back to the slip part again. Now they are strapping them up. This match, by the way, is already over, but since we have not seen it yet, we're going to see it now. Okay, this time there was a top roll from Dave Chaffey. We saw that. Not an inside move anymore. Not inside the straps. Todzilla is a very powerful individual. Let's see what Dave can do against him. Good top roll from Dave. Todd's wrist is flopped. Todd is holding on to him with a flopped back wrist. That's interesting. And Dave Chaffey, too much side pressure. Todzilla couldn't do anything from there. It looks like Todd is going to stop Dave, but he needs it to be like a best of 9 or something. As of now, it doesn't look like it's stopping. And looks like at this age, 59 years of age, Todd cares about his health way too much. I don't think he got as big as he could have. At once, he was like 235 pounds in WL. I know they showed him to be like 241 or something, but that was fully clothed in shoes, full food, water, and everything. So maybe he was still like at least 270. Wow, this time Dave Chaffey flash pinned Todd. Foul. What? Okay, it was a foul. Todd is gassed out. Second foul it was on Todd. Total domination. Dave Chaffey is way too strong. Easy money for Dave Chaffey. There is a reason why there are weight classes. And Todd Hutchings is not ready for the 115 kg weight class where this match was being contested. So it looked like the way Todd lost this match, it could have been a best of 100 and maybe Dave would have still won. Todd, not Tard. I'm not sure how people cannot hear the different pronunciations of Todd and Tard. Pradeep, that's too much. Too much of what? May I suggest Lacrimosa? What does that even mean? Best of 100. Yeah. They would still win it because Hutchings was the one who was gassed out. So let's record the result of this round 2, this match 2. Todd Hutchings versus Dave Chaffey. 115 kg category match at East versus West 19 was a complete one-sided domination. Without watching the result, mention in the comments who do you think dominated that match. It was in fact Dave Chaffey. He got his nickname proven once again. He's the easy money guy and he got his easy money this time. So round 1, they slipped. No, they didn't even slip. Dave, pure cupping, pure side pressure. You can call it a high hook. You can call it a Dave Chaffey side pressure sweep. He literally got the job done in less than 2 seconds. Todd did slow it down, but not enough to get the stop. The match never stopped. 1-0 Dave Chaffey. Then second round, they slipped, both of them intentionally. In the straps, Todd's wrist was flopped by Dave. Dave kept applying the down pressure, the side pressure. Todd slowed it down for maybe 6, 7 seconds, 8 seconds this time, but not enough. Dave Chaffey pinned him, I would say easily towards the end. And at this point, it was looking like, even Todd said he's getting warmed up. But no, he was getting gassed out. He had nothing in the third round. In the third round, Dave Chaffey pinned him as he would pin any 60, 70, 80 kg world champion. it was way too easy. Todd had nothing left. Initially, I was saying that maybe Todd needs like a best of 9 to beat Dave Chaffee, but today it could have been a best of 100 and it wouldn't have mattered. As I was saying during the live stream, Todd looks like he cares too much about his health, especially when he's 59 years old, because in WL days he was showing up over 235 pounds. And for this match, I don't think, I've not checked the veins, but I don't think he was even 100 kilos for this match, which is 225 pounds. So you cannot expect to be below 100 kilos and beat a 115 kg Dave Chaffee, who has now bulked up to 120 for this match because he cut a lot of weight in water weight. So pure domination. Dave Chaffee is back. This is the class where he belongs to. I hope Denis Siplenkov does the same. I hope some other arm wrestlers also do the same, like Sergey Kalinichenko and many others who don't belong in the super heavyweight category, yet they compete because there was no one to compete against in the 115 kg class. Dennis versus Dave is something which I would love to see in the future in the 115 kg class. Michael Todd also belongs there. That class can be lit in the future if these guys all decide to cut and make it interesting. Thanks for watching. Like the video and I'll see you again. Yep, matchmaking will be better. Ben Holding is a good commentator. Robert Oberst is wearing this clothing. Maybe they had a bet or something. So now it's Brian Shaw versus Brandon Allen. This match, I would say, there's a very good chance that Brandon Allen couldn't even slip against Brian Shaw. There's a good chance. Pradeep leaving us, slumming it over on Aussie's channel. Slumming it over. Can someone explain it to me? What it means? So there's a good chance that he doesn't even slip, but if he slips, then I'm gonna say that he can be in some trouble. Brandon King's move is not gonna be easy for Brian to beat. I'm telling you that today. Keep those words in mind. Brian Shaw may not be able to beat Brandon King's move in the strap, but there's a good chance that he can finish the match before it even gets to the strap. Las Vegas, Nevada, USA. It just means that you're a better channel to watch, but you weren't around. Thank you, sir. You're right. Unforgivable, Pradeep. I think he was saying you abandoned us. Okay. Now you need to shave your head. I can. Not shave, but maybe trim. Trim it completely if I want to. How did Mazahir felt you toyed with him? Yeah, I didn't apply, but I did some arm wrestling. My elbows are sore today. They were always sore. Just I can pull once and I start feeling the beginner's pain. I wasn't impressed with the level of arm wrestling there. There was one 160 kg guy who was top rolling my wrist easily. I was like, man, that's disappointing. How is a 60 kg guy top rolling me so easily? Then I checked his name. He was in the 70 kg category, so I felt a little more comfortable after that, knowing that okay, it wasn't a 60 kg guy. I practiced with many 60 kg guys, and almost all of them, not the top guys like the top 3 4, but almost all of the guys in that category, if they go in a hook, I can stonewall almost all of the 60 kg guys in India. Not all, but almost all, I'm saying. But then if there's a good top roller, I have a butter wrist. My butter wrist gets broken and then I lose. And also I'm the female super heavyweight champion in India. I just practiced with both of them, and I think I can beat. According to you, top five. I need to practice a little bit of my strap game and endurance. 60 kg. You're talking about the 60 kg, right? And I weigh 80 kilos. If I weigh 80 and I'm competing in the 60 kg category, with 3 months of training, I can be top five. I'm top 10 maybe today. I'm today top 10 60 kg guy in India on the left arm. With 3 4 months of training, I can be top five. But the number one guy I heard he's like almost as good or even better than the 70 kg guy. So I have no chance there. Not all over top five India. No, 60 kg top 10 on a good day. You can consider me on a good day. Maybe not three, but with like 6 months of training, I'm top five. I have no side pressure. I realize that I can stop all of those guys in the center like this with this kind of hook move. Not a problem. They cannot move me an inch, but then I cannot move them an inch. I have literally no side pressure, so I have to hold them here for like 10, 15, 20 seconds, and then transition to a shoulder press, tricep press. That feels so easy, man. Against the 60 kg guys, it's like just stop them there for a few moments and then switch to a press and then finish the match. Without that, I cannot pin maybe even the female arm wrestlers. I don't have since I'm a beginner, I don't have this side pressure move yet. I'll develop it soon. Ordered a pulley. Brian Shaw versus Brandon Allen. Great slips. Round one. It's done, man. Brian Shaw is dead. Brian Shaw is dead. It's over. It's over. I just saw a slip and I'm telling you it's over. It's not even close. If Brandon can slip that easy against Brian, it's over. I apologize if I offended any of the Brian Shaw fans, but it's over, man. It's over. And kudos to Brian Shaw for taking up this difficult. Yeah. I think the other two ladies that arm wrestled yesterday for the number one spot, they felt more. At least Yogesh Chaudhary felt more stronger because I arm wrestled her against her fresh. Of course, I can contain her, but if I let her hit without the straps, just trying to hold her, then she broke my wrist. But if we both say ready go, I can contain her from slipping. Didn't arm wrestle in the straps against her, but I don't think any female arm wrestler can slip against me. Maybe they'll beat me in the straps because I don't know how to arm wrestle in the straps, but they cannot slip against me. For sure, not even a chance, not even close. Maybe something weird like this later on after 20 seconds of struggle, but I don't think that. It's over, it's over. They're being strapped up. Brandon Allen on the left, Brian Shaw on the right. Accept dominance from Brandon Allen. Yeah, center table stop. It's over. It's over. Brian Shaw cannot win from here. He's working well, but the match is already over, I can tell you. Unless Brian has this like monster Michael Todd style transition to a press, it's over. It's over. Center table and Brandon Allen. Elbow foul. Was that an elbow foul? Brandon was way too charged up. He was about to run away with elbow foul. Yep, there was a big elbow foul. I too saw that on screen. Brian Shaw, it's over, man. It's over. Devon made all mouths shut. And now you see Larry Wheels pinned Brandon Allen a couple of times. Brian Shaw couldn't. Brian Shaw got stopped dead center and got destroyed. According to, and RVJ destroyed Brandon Allen last year. It wasn't close. Brandon couldn't even slip. Larry could still beat Brian, I believe. I too think so. Like, if you give him 6 weeks of training just to, maybe if he's feeling the beginner's elbow pain again or stuff like that, just 6 weeks to get accustomed. And I think Larry beats Brian Shaw even now. No, it was an elbow foul on Brandon Allen, but unless he fouls out or something, Brian Shaw is not winning a single round here. It's not even close, and he'll be getting flash pressed in the third round by Brandon, or maybe even the second round, or maybe even in this round if Brandon is brave enough to try that. It's already over. I saw that within the first zero point 0.5 seconds that it's over because Brandon was able to get the center table slip. No way Brian's game plan didn't include rising when Brandon his arm was opened up like this much. How do you rise from here? It's practically impossible. This time Brian is on the offensive and easy win for Brandon Allen. That's what you get when you get coached by you're saying a clown and laughing. Brian Press didn't look bad against Devon. Yeah, Larry was pinning Devon on the first day he arm wrestled. Not the first day, but when Devon went there in Dubai, Larry was pinning Devon left-handed. Brandon 1-0. It was not close, man. It was not close. Brandon Allen versus John Brezink. Book it now. Book it, Robert. I mean, he didn't even slide his elbow forward. Yeah, you can say that. You can say that. But once there's a certain angle up to which you can get benefited by sliding the elbow forward. If it is like that and you do this, you still don't get anything. Your arm will get opened up even more with the other guy's back pressure. Okay, they're doing their job, but why is Neil Pickup here? If Devon is in Brian Shaw's corner, why is Neil Pickup here coaching? Isn't he the announcer or the commentator? Come on, man, that's unprofessional. Brian just too awkward on the table. There's different types of strength. Just because Brian Shaw is like the strongest man or was the strongest man in the world at strongman stuff doesn't mean he's going to be the strongest man in the world at this stuff too. That's a different strength. How would you say? Because I've arm wrestled guys like even the super heavyweight girls that arm wrestled in India yesterday, the women, they both are over 40 by the way. And they bench like 100 kilos, which is more than me. They squat like 180 plus kilos. They deadlift like 200 plus kilos. I cannot do any of that, of course. I cannot even bench 100. But I can still beat them. So and they have practiced way more than me even then, because this is like different level of strength, man. Different type of strength, not level. Second round is about to start. Brandon Allen versus Brian Shaw. Oh, this time Brian Shaw controls and Brandon Allen fouls. Brian is laughing. He was like, bro, what the fuck was that? You shouldn't be doing that. That's amazing. That is what I said. Brian Shaw can win this match, but it has to be without the straps. Once they get strapped up, it's over. This time, Brian with great height control, great cupping, thumb control, I would say. And he just pushed his fingers into Brandon's hand, and Brandon had to do a massive elbow foul. This type of shit should be called a professional foul. I don't like it. If I was in charge of the rules of arm wrestling, that right there, what Brandon Allen did from this position, literally dragging his elbow like 10 inches off the back of the pad, that should be a loss right then and there. And Brian Shaw should have 1 round. That is a weird rule in arm wrestling, that there is no professional foul. There is no straightaway loss because you did that foul. Again, Brian controls the thumb. He will be going for the pin, or maybe not. Brandon needs to switch to a flop. Brandon gets destroyed. Brandon gets destroyed by Brian Shaw without the straps. He couldn't slip. He couldn't slip. Now, where is Devon's advice? Never hold on. Never hold on. If Brian Shaw didn't hold on, he wouldn't have won this round. If Brian Shaw didn't hold on, he would have gotten destroyed by Eddie Hall in their first super match. Brian Shaw needs to hold on. Never hold on is probably applicable only for the top 5 guys in the world. Except them, everyone should hold on. If they can, if they feel stronger there. Wow, Brandon couldn't slip. Come on, bro, you've been arm wrestling for like 5 years now. What are you doing? Maybe even more than 5 years. How difficult is it to do this? You have a press, just go for it straight away, off the go. Same apply to Vitali. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Vitali has a great strength. without the straps. If he can get some pins, why not? And he can prevent most of the guys outside of top 5 from slipping. So why risk going to the straps? So guys, the current match that is going on is Brandon Allen versus Brian Shaw. Brian Fury. I don't know why that came to my mind. Why is Dennis comebacking? What does that even mean, man? I don't think he's coming back. Brandon getting the RVJ treatment all over again, yes. From this side, it will be a little bit easier for him to slip because there is not a referee blocking you from slipping. From blocking your arm. Side of the table matters a lot to pressers, to almost everyone. I literally seen the pressers, their shoulder gets blocked by the referee's hands because the referee is saying ready go. Can he slip? Can he slip? No, not yet. Not yet. Brian Shaw is holding on. Again, he got his thumb. Brian got his thumb. Now he's working on it. Brian is patient. He does not want to loosen his grip. Brandon is trying desperately to slip. Brian is getting behind his shoulder. Brian is rocking him sideways. Rocking him sideways. This time, big elbow foul again. Come on, man. Brandon is like, no, 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 it wasn't an elbow foul. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Go for the slip, man. Don't arm wrestle like a beginner. Come on. Go for a flop slip. Why are you getting your thumbs destroyed? Oberst got injury. Yes, Eddie Hall won that match 2-1. I've recorded the result of that too. It will be uploaded soon on the channel. I don't know how many matches Brandon has lost because he simply couldn't get to the straps. Many of them. And yet he keeps on trying to do the same thing. The guy who has a press, if you don't have a press, I can understand attempting this can be difficult for you. But just going straight away for a flop press, it's one of the easiest things in the world. Come on, man. Do that, Brandon. Don't act weird. Push into Brian Shaw's arm, push towards him, and he'll be forced to get into this position and either choose to hold on from there and get pinned or let go of the grip, and there you go, you get to the strap. Running fouls should be a rule, but the thing is that running, you cannot give a massive 6-inch foul as a running foul. How is that a running foul? That will give a massive advantage to the guy committing that foul. That's why I say running fouls don't work. False start from Brandon. So finally, Brandon, you're listening to me. Finally, he's going for a flop press slip, and he literally pinned Brian Shaw. But that was a false start. Brian couldn't do anything if Brandon goes for this slip. You rise by pushing elbow forward. Yes. Bro, what are you doing in PPL? I haven't listened to your commentary. You haven't? Are you sure? When is Devon versus Kurdecha? Right. Soon. Maybe we have 2 more matches left? No. Is that the... What's the next match? Is that the co-main event? Who's winning? As of now, the score is 1-1. If Brandon can figure out how to slip, then he's winning. If he cannot, then Brian Shaw is winning. Green screen, yes. Yes, he goes for a flop press, and surely he's going to get a slip. Surely he gets a slip. See, I can literally be coaching these guys how to arm wrestle. He goes for a flop press, he slips, but he tried that same slip a couple of times, got pinned once, and almost got pinned twice. That's the easy slip, man. That's the easy slip. And now he can go for that flop even in the straps. Brian wouldn't be able to do anything if he goes straight for that press. Devon won easy. Yes, left arm. It was very easy. Not close. Running foul, intentional foul, must correct technique within 1.5 seconds. How do you count 1.5 seconds in real time? That's the question. If the athlete reviews it, do we use a stopwatch then? That's why these things make running foul is the most complicated rule in the world. I'm saying this for the 100th time on this channel. Not just in arm wrestling, in all of sports. There cannot be, you cannot basically come up with a more complicated rule than a running foul, even if you try to. Devon's training worked very well, very excellent, yeah. Chat GPT counter. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. Again, this time Brandon hits the offensive Kings move. He's in the center. Brian Shaw is working on it. Brian Shaw going for a flop. Not going to work. He did work. Wow, Brian Shaw is flop pressing Brandon Allen. Come on, man. Elbow foul. Okay, it was an elbow foul on Brandon Allen. So that's the second elbow foul? I guess so. The match is over. The round is over. Brian Shaw is flop pressing Brandon Allen's King's move. Are you kidding me? The shoulder was not even close to crossing center. Why is Brandon Allen crying, man? Come on, bros. Stop crying. He's saying elbow foul when not an elbow foul, when there is clearly an elbow foul. He's getting pressed through, and he's like, and Brian Shaw's shoulder is not even close to crossing the center line. And he's like, he's crossing the center. Come on, man, get a review. Okay, he did get a review. I take my words back. He's just not complaining. He was taking a review too. Whose match after this? Is the Devon match after this? Again, a massive elbow foul. And he still got pressed through. I told you, Brandon, go for a flop press in the straps. Brian wouldn't be able to deal with it. Why aren't you listening to me? Just tell me that. Why aren't you listening? Joking with a ChatGPT counter, but intentional fouls must be corrected. It was tough ground to step on. He's like, what? Are you kidding me? Wow. No, the shoulder did not cross the center, Brian. I'm watching it. Brandon, I'm watching it in the replay. Nope. It was close, but I don't think you can give it as a foul. Two one Brian Shaw. That's a great comeback, man. After getting beat so easily in round one, I still did expect him that maybe he can do something without the straps, but not in the straps. That was not expected. That was good. Challenge me if you dare. No, I don't have that much dare within me. Come on, Brandon. David versus Goliath. Devon versus Vitali. Your commentary is in Hindi or English in PPL? PPL is already over, man. You don't even know that yet, then you're not watching PPL. Devon versus almost over. Did I say already over? It's almost over. 6 days left. Devon should challenge Vitali now, both left and right on the same day, just like he did with Alex this time. They won't be missing out on such an opportunity to have two big pay-per-view events, so the promoters will not do that. They'll have only one match on one card. Devon probably loses to Vitali left right now, but by next year Devon wins. Man, it's strange that we're thinking that Devon at 50 can improve faster than Vitali Laletin can. Pradeep pulled my whole body across the table on right arm 2024. Yeah, 25 I think you're trying to say. If Brandon goes for this top roll slip, he may be in trouble. The shoulders should be squared. How the match of Eddie Hall was. It was okay. It was okay. Everything was outside of straps. Eddie came back and he won the match. Brian Shaw's setup is good. I'm impressed. I'm impressed with the side pressure, good position, shoulder card in. Priti, do you think the version of Devon can beat Morozov that faced Vitali? No, no, I don't think so. Bec- Because initially I was thinking that Morozov, but that will be again a good match. It can be like the first Kurdecha versus Deon match. Initially I was thinking Morozov cannot flop press, but then when he was holding Vitali, even in this position, that was impressive in the first round. But now he got his wrist operated, his left shoulder is messed up, left elbow is messed up. Morozov might be away from arm wrestling for a year now. Can we give props to this pay-per-view? Stream has been perfect. Yes, it is. Brandon Allen versus Brian Shaw. Can Brian win this thing? Yes, he can. Brian Shaw destroys Brandon Allen. Brandon was kind of confused whether he should be going for the slip, the press slip, or a top roll slip. Wow, Brandon got lucky. Elbow foul. This time to me, Mazahir did not look that big. First season he was looking massive. Don't know why, but he's like, is he heavier now? The muscle definition wasn't there. I was having a photo with Mazahir and people were saying I'm looking big. And I'm like 30 kilos lighter than him. That was the best luck that Brandon can possibly have. Pradeep, what do you think about Alijan versus Dadikyan? Who wins at 115 kg? I think I think maybe Alijan. Pradeep, last hope versus Levan. I think UV versus Mazahir is going to be awesome. Yes, it can be awesome. If it is awesome, then UV is going to win. This time Brandon tries to set the hook, but good move. He was able to take his wrist a little bit, but Brian Shaw has thumb control. Brian Shaw has thumb control and he's going for the pin now. Brian Shaw is going for the kill. He goes for the kill and he pins him. He pins him. Winner. Second elbow foul this time. It's over either way. Either it's a pin or a second elbow foul. Brian Shaw is your winner. How are they even reviewing it on Brandon's request? Because Brandon has already lost his review. Come on, are you kidding me? Or the referees wanted to review it themselves. He's like, let go of my thumb. We need the strap. So what was there? What was there? Did anyone elbow foul? It's over. Brian Shaw destroys a comeback victory against an experienced arm wrestler. That is something that can be respected. So Brian Shaw won with the hand control without the straps. He won with a flop press. He did everything. Predict Mazahir versus UE. I think Yuvraj has a solid wrist. It will not go back. But Mazahir's side pressure will be too much for him. It was a ref review, yeah. Yep, another elbow foul on Brandon Allen and he lost the match. 3-1 Brian Shaw. Let's review this match. Brian Shaw's second super match, this time against Brandon Allen. After I watched the first round, I was like, it's over. Brian Shaw is going to get destroyed, and by round 3, he's going to get flash pinned by Brandon Allen. Because it was one of the easiest center table slips for Brandon in round 1. Inside the straps, he hit his offensive King's move. The match stopped in center for maybe 10 seconds. Brian Shaw's wrist started getting flopped. Then, when Brandon transitioned to a press, I think it was an elbow foul and a restart, but Brandon did the same thing all over again. He cracked Brian Shaw's wrist in the center, transitioned, finished the match with a press. 1-0 Brandon Allen. At this point, even Brian Shaw was thinking that maybe it's over. Everyone was thinking that way. But Neil Pickup and Devon Larrat were there in his corner, coaching him, teaching him. Second round, there was a surprise. Brian didn't let Brandon slip. He held on to his thumb and he pinned him just like he did against Eddie Hall. And there you go. There was the comeback. Third round, again, this time somehow after some fouls and stuff, Brandon Allen did get the slip. He did get to the straps and I thought it's over. It's over. In fact, I was saying that Brandon should be going for this slip, this flop slip. He has a press, why not go for this? Because even in the second round, he was trying the same top roll slip and his thumb was getting held on by Brian Shaw. Then he had to do a massive elbow foul. In my opinion, these massive elbow fouls should be straight away losses. Brian Shaw should have won that round right then and there. But no, this is not the rule of arm wrestling, unfortunately. But in the straps, Brian amazed everyone. I think everyone should be amazed by that performance. He held on to Brandon Allen's King's move. He switched to a flop press, and with a single surge, he put Brandon's arm down. And Brandon started acting weird that it's shoulder crossing the center. It was pretty close, let's be honest, pretty close. But then the review was rejected. It wasn't crossing the center. 2-1 Brian Shaw. Again, Brandon Allen couldn't slip. Third round, fourth round of the match, he got just buried on the table by Brian Shaw. Luckily, he got an elbow foul. There was a restart. Again, he was confused whether he should go for this slip or this slip. He did something weird, something in between these two, and obviously he got dusted again. There was a second elbow foul on him, and he got pinned too, I think, after that. So Brian Shaw is your winner. Brian Shaw pinned him without the straps, and Brian Shaw pinned him in the straps. He pinned the King's move with a flop press. That was the most impressive part of this game. The less experienced guy made a comeback. A comeback victory is expected from the more experienced guys, but this was not the case in this match. Brian Shaw is happy. He's announcing something. I'm not sure what he's announcing. But again, now I want to see Brian Shaw versus John Brzezinski. John wouldn't be losing to Brian without the straps. Of course, he'll be able to slip. In the straps, I think he's going to make Brian's day difficult. But 6 months from now, this match can happen. Brian Shaw may have improved even more since then. I think this match must happen. It must happen. And what about Devon's advice? Never hold on. If Brian Shaw didn't hold on in this match, he would lose. If Brian Shaw didn't hold on in the Eddie Hall match, he would lose that too. And after losing 2 consecutive matches, he would quit. So do hold on. If you have the Brian Shaw, the grip strength of Brian Shaw, do hold on. That never hold on thing is only applicable to the top 5 guys in the world in each weight category where the opponent will slip no matter how strong your grip is. It's not applicable here. It's not applicable in your match, most likely. That's it for this video. Brian Shaw versus John Brzezinski is next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again. Can anyone tell me what Brian Shaw said? Pradeep is a small guy. It matters how big you are. I won't say I'm small. I won't say I'm big. Pradeep hasn't seemed to complain about the technical side of the event, which is good. Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing. And speaking about not complaining about the technical side of the game, how about Pro Punja League? 12 super matches every day for 17 days. Not a single glitch, not a single audio issue, not a single video issue, not a single delay issue. No delay in events. Never. Aussie sucks at play-by-play. Yes, it's awesome. It's awesome. The stream is awesome. Mark with the 18 dirham super chat. Thank you, sir. The Wicked Witch of East is dead. Are you talking about? Are you talking about Engin? Thank you, Mark, for the support. Brian is thanking his wife and her hard work. Engin. Come on, man. Somebody tell me what Brian Shaw announced in the first couple of minutes of his speech. What did he say? Would Brian beat all the Indian arm wrestlers? Brian Shaw versus Mazahir Saidu or Yuvraj Verma. I mean, I can see him preventing them from slipping. Maybe he can. I'm not sure how strong Brandon Allen is. That will be close. That will be close already. 21 centimeter. I'm not sure how long 21 centimeter is. I would guess my hand is longer than that. Can you divide it by 2.54? Please unsubscribe. And how tall are you? Bro, perhaps you can be the one to beat Levan. Yeah. I'm 6'11". 6'10". Way taller than Levan Sagin actually and Brian Shaw. Devon only has a shot against Vitali on the left if he manages to get past Kamil, in my opinion. I don't think Vitali has the same moveset as Kamil. Devon is the best at taking your wrist. He may not be able to take Vitali's wrist. Dean Future, is that how you pronounce it? I am Sofa King V. Todd Ed. Okay. Thank you, sir. Now, nice house, bro. LOL. So now the main event of the night, Devon Larrat versus Alex Kurdecha right arm super match. It's already over. Not sure how long Devon can pretend that it's a good match or how fast he's going to end it. What an insightful super chat. Hey, as long as it is paying the bills, why not? Play us a song. What song? Devon left-handed match was first to favor Devon, Ricard. I don't think he needs any favor on the right arm to beat Devon. It was in fact to favor Alex. The left arm match was first to favor Alex, not Devon. Ricard Bowman is awesome. He's awesome, man. By the way, things are going. Ricard Bowman is going to beat Alex Kurdecha before Kurdecha manages to beat Devon. I think so. Just you tell me what happens first. The right arm. Kurdecha beats Devon or Ricard Bowman beats Kurdecha. Man, it's weird. Devon is saying this is pretty good, but this right arm is damn near the best arm on the planet. Yeah, Devon versus Morozov is a good match. It's a good match. बंद कर दे दरवाजे. The winner of this match is the person who didn't gas out on his first match. Yeah, Devon knew he's strong. He didn't gas out in the first match unlike the first one. Even if he gassed out, right arm he's still going to beat Alex, man. Come on, man. It's not close. Alex said that he will force Devon into the King's move round 1 or throughout the match. He can do that to Devon only in the first round on the left arm. So on the right, he cannot do anything. And Devon also said that you won't be doing anything to my right arm. I'll hold you in center and I'll look into your eyes before I beat you. Devon is playing with his food. Yes, he is. So, see, D. Cocker now agrees with me. Devon's soul burns for Vitali. What does that even mean? Is that like a Paul Bearer punchline? A promo line? Is this a Leonidas situation? What is the Leonidas situation? Devon Larrat is back at the table once again, this time to get his right arm win. Only one win in a night is not going to satisfy this legend of the sport. He's coming back for one more. Just like Floyd Money Mayweather said, I come back to steal more money. That's what Devon is doing here. Easy money match for no limits. Devon. Kurdecha 35, Devon 50. There's a small difference in the height. It's surely not 6.4 centimeters as it's saying on the graphics. 134 kilos Devon, 160 kilos Alex Kurdecha. Bicep size and forearm size goes to Alex as well. But still, the strength advantage goes to Devon for sure. Devon at this weight, 305. Is Devon 305? A couple of days ago, I saw him weighing in at 298. So I don't think he's 305, but yeah, he's close. He's close to 300 pounds. I said it was to favor Devon because if right-handed match was first, then he would be too exhausted for left-hand victory. No, he wouldn't be. Come on, man. What are you talking about? How does Devon get exhausted by arm wrestling against Kurdecha? Only chance Alex had to get even one pin on right is if Devon was gassed out from the left match. Yes, yes. And he isn't gassed out. Devon isn't gassed out. I think Devon, they're going to the straps. I think if Devon wanted to, he could have pinned Alex even without the straps. At least in some of the rounds, like he did against Dennis Siplenkov, or I think Gennady Quickvinia too. Devon is looking to hook. I think Devon is turning inside, but maybe he'll slowly rotate outside. You will remember me, Alex. That's what Devon is saying, right to the pad. Devon is in advantageous position this time, unlike the left arm match. I would close it if I could see the thumb. I heard some referees say recently, like, people act like I cannot see my thumb knuckle. And he's like, you don't need to see your thumb knuckle. The referee needs to see it. If he can see it, it's good to go. And that was a good way. Who said it? Does anyone know? I heard it like 2-3 days ago. Wow, Kurdecha flops. Kurdecha turns Devon palm up. Kurdecha is saying, show me, show me. He has bent Devon's wrist back. We rarely see that. But Devon is not even looking. He has his shirt on his eyes. Where did you go? Where did you go? Devon leaving the hand peg and he gets a warning for that. I cannot even feel him. It's weird. The refs get pissed off because Devon had this. Like, he had his shirt on his head and then he stopped Kurdecha. His wrist went back for a moment, but he was slowly regaining it. That was a funny round. That was a funny round. Of course, the Europeans are not going to like it. Did Devon get fouled? Yeah, he got fouled for it. But the rule only says if you gain an advantage. Here, by leaving the hand peg and putting your shirt on your head, clearly he did not gain any advantage. Evening Pradeep living in luxury, I see. Yeah, this time Devon attacks and he keeps his wrist flat. He keeps Kurdecha's wrist flat too. And now Kurdecha's wrist is going to go back. It is going back. Devon is saying, don't quit. Devon is laughing. He has full hand control. Kurdecha is weird, man. He's getting destroyed and he's laughing. He's talking with the fans. He's asking if they are entertained. Come on, bro. Did you come here to win or what? Again, big elbow foul. Again, big elbow foul. Absolutely no regard, no respect for the fans, no respect for arm wrestling. When a guy loses on fouls and he refuses to get pinned, I immediately lose respect for that guy. So Kurdecha's wrist got flopped. He was about to get pinned. He drags his elbow off the back of the pad. If this is a strategy that can help you win the match, I can still understand it. But losing a match, of course, he hasn't lost the round yet. But I think he's going to do the same thing all over again. He's not going to get pinned. He'll intentionally foul. See? He fouled it once again. I said it in the first round too. I'm losing massive respect for Kurdecha. Massive respect. That is such a disrespectful, disgraceful behavior. I don't like it ever. When you're getting destroyed and you choose to drag your elbow off intentionally and you choose to lose on fouls to just to get not have that feeling to get your arm pinned, to not let the fans have that feeling that they saw an actual pin, that is really bad. Yes, it's Alex Kurdecha versus Devon now. I was ready for you, Vitali. Devon just roared. Yeah. Wow, Kurdecha, this again, Kurdecha is looking much taller than Devon this time. Sometimes they look the same height. Completely agree, Pradeep. It's not like I am being a Devon fanboy here. The regular followers of the channel will tell you that I've been saying this all the time. I don't like it when people foul out. You can say that sometimes it's a part of a strategy. If someone is a fast starter like Travis, he gets caught, he puts his arm down. I can still understand that strategy. But Alex knows he's losing this match anyways. So what's the point in just fouling out instead of getting pinned? Like that's literally telling the fans that he doesn't care about them. And then he's getting his wrist flopped and asking the fans if they're entertained or not. No, if they're not entertained, you're fouling out all the time. Left arm, now right arm. How will they be entertained? This time Devon with too much pronation cracks the wrist right in the center. Kurdecha is under the table this time. Elbow foul on Alex again. Pretty disrespectful behavior if you ask me. To foul again and again. Imagine if Devon fouled that many times, all of the Europe will be all over Devon Larrat. How bad Devon dominated Alex? Pretty bad, pretty bad. It's basically the same as the left arm. Cat playing with a mouse. Dead mouse, I might add. Wow, this time controls the wrist completely with a lot of cupping. Not just pronation, this time Devon has cupping too. Devon easily pins Alex Kurdecha. Wow. At this point, it could be me versus Devon, and it would look the same. That's how bad he's destroying him. Do you think Kurdecha trained adequately? I was ready for Vitaly, I promise. He looks huge, too big. I'm not sure, man. Alex is the new 400-pound pussy. Wow. How did Alex not foul out in this round? Because Devon pinned him quick. He would have fouled out if Devon waited a little bit longer. Devon is screaming he want Vitali. Yes, thanks for reminding my lad these things in the recap video. It's like Kurdecha is thinking he stands no chance anyway, so he doesn't care even trying. Yeah, that's right. But don't foul out, man. Come on. Either quit, pin your own arm, let your opponent pin your arm, but don't foul out. That is disrespectful behavior towards the fans. Not against the rules, but against the fans for sure. Alex just here for a check. I wonder what Engines 27 jealous nuthuggers are saying right now. Devon is not cheating. You can say, okay, right arm he was going to destroy Alex anyways, but the left arm last time was close. And even round 1, Devon was willing to let Alex start in any position whatsoever. Round 1, before the first go in the straps, he was willing to let Alex have all the advantage in the world. How can you say that Devon cheats? Okay, maybe he still will cheat in the future, but that'll be maybe against Levan. Even against Levan, he didn't cheat in the setup in the last match. Flash pin from Devon. Flash pin from Devon. Thank you for time. 3-0. Devon, no limits, Larrat. As a fan, I lost a lot of respect for the Europeans. I want Alex to go 100% even if he stands no chance. Yeah, he got flash pinned. As I said, it would have looked the same if I was against Devon after round 1. No chance like that. This is not looking good at all. Flash pin from Devon. He could have done that round 2 as well if he wanted to. Not round 1, of course. But yeah, Devon might have given his LSD pill to Alex. Let's see what Devon says after this one. Or how much altitude is there in Loveland, Colorado? Everyone is talking about the altitude. Can somebody check Loveland, Colorado altitude? The highest I have lived for a few months was 7,237 feet or 7,137 feet, whatever it was. Devon is a monster. Now Jody has both the hammers. Again, just like WL days. Jody with two hammers in her hands. I thought I was alone up there for a moment. 4,997 feet. Yeah, you can feel the altitude a little bit, the oxygen thing. Maybe. 1,500 meters, okay. 5,000 feet. At 7,000 you definitely feel it, man. You definitely feel it unless you are living there since you were born there. You're going to feel 7,000. 5,000 to, I think, yeah, if you're doing cardiovascular activity, you will feel it. So they're right talking about it. 5,000 is good, man. 5,000 is good. The match is tonight? I haven't checked if the match is tonight. Yuvraj. Devon is calling out Vitali. Dave crushed Todzilla. Yes, he did. I think my Pavlo match prediction was wrong, except that were all of them correct? No, yeah, I predicted Eddie to win, I think, in that match too. So I think all of them were correct, except the Pavlo match. And I did say it is going to be an amazing war. Okay, let's record the result of the Devon versus Brian Shaw match. Devon Larrat versus Brian Shaw. Not Brian Shaw, man. Coach Ray said that Brian Shaw get him to the stage. I was like, Brian Shaw? When did this match happen? So Devon Larrat versus Alex Kurdecha, second match. This time the right arm match. Surprisingly, Alex was able to flop. Record कर रहा हूँ ना मैं. Devon Larrat versus Alex Kurdecha, right arm super match, the second super match. This time, surprisingly, Alex was able to flop Devon's wrist. Round 1, Devon's wrist cracked back slightly, but he was in an awesome defensive position. Then he started flexing, he started showing off, he put his t-shirt on his head, covered his eyes, and he was like, "Where is Alex? I couldn't even feel him." That's when the referees gave him the foul, because in order to do that, he had to leave the hand peg. This is a controversial rule because it says that if the referee feels you gain an advantage, then he can give you a foul. Did taking your hand off the peg and putting your t-shirt on your head give you an advantage or a disadvantage? You let me know in the comments. I think it was a disadvantage, not an advantage. Anyways, there was a foul. This time, after the restart, Alex didn't have. He was already gassed out after the first 5 seconds of arm wrestling. And he was laughing, calling Devon out, do it now, or something like that, as if he's not the one who's getting gassed out. He knew he's already destroyed. He knew he's already gassed out. After the restart, Devon cracked his wrist back right in the center. And then I think Alex fouled out, or Devon, I don't think Devon pinned him. Alex fouled out. Second round, once again, Alex was fouling out, doing massive fouls, laughing throughout the match. I take it as complete disrespect towards the fans of arm wrestling. When you know you got destroyed and you choose to foul out instead of getting pinned or quitting the match, I take it as a huge disrespectful behavior. I know it's not against the rules, but it's against the fans for sure. If it's a strategy for someone like Travis who gets stopped, now he has no chance, he pins himself and then recovers next round and beats his opponent, I can understand that. But Alex knew he's gone for the match. He cannot do anything. And yet he chose to foul out many times on the left arm, many times on the right arm, rather than get pinned. So third round, Devon flash pinned him. It was over. Basically, It could have been me versus Devon at this point, and it would have looked the same. Devon kept on saying that, Vitali, I prepared for you. I was ready for you. This is what he was saying during the match and after the match. And looking at this match, this performance, I think Devon was ready for Vitali not just on the right arm, but on the left arm as well. Devon was the superstar of the night as expected. I didn't see anything wrong with his behavior. In fact, I would say he was way too kind towards his opponent today. Both matches. So left arm, right arm, Devon is your winner. He's going to take a lot of break. I don't think that break is intentional. Devon is pretending that it is. I think Robert may have told him to get away from East versus West for a while so that the Europeans can come back, they can join. And then after that, Devon will join back and he'll arm wrestle Vitali Laletin on the right arm. That's it for this video. Devon Larrat, your champion. Great sportsmanship this time from Devon. We have to admit it. We have to admire it. And that's it for this video. Bye. This time Robert Baxter's speech is also after the event ended. So again, one more feedback that they took. Sagov versus Dave Chaffey. So Sagov is back in East versus West. Good news. He was one of the Europeans who quit. Come on, man. What happened to the 27? Is the 27 breaking now? I hope they do break. Good closing before the hiatus. It's like a final. If you Vitali didn't want that smoke. Don't want that smoke, yeah. Robert isn't getting any better at these speeches. I think it's good. Now the event has ended. People can leave if they want. They don't have any right to complain. Sagov was one of the first guys who quit, who announced that he's going to quit East versus West because Engin has been removed. That happened like almost a couple of months ago. And Sagov is competing back again. So is the 27 falling apart? I'll make a video about that too. At this rate, Devon would toy Laletin and tell the world that these Russians' hype job ain't shit. Oleg Petrenko is not the 105 kg East versus West champion. Come on, man. What are you talking about? How can you just hand over the title to anyone? Nobody has won it yet. So I think Petrenko also quit. He's also back. Irakli is confirmed. Yeah, first time they published the rules as well. Amazing. I'm super impressed by this event. I have nothing but positive things to say about it. Oleg is not the 105 kg champion. What is Robert even talking about? Can somebody explain this to me? Now Dexter Tanis is speaking. We promised and it has been delivered. Yes, sir, you are right. Full complete rules is now published. I respect you, sir. I tried to get this done for last 3 years. Engin didn't listen. You guys listened as soon as possible. Thank you, Dexter Tan. Thank you, Robert Baxter. Thank you, Brian Shaw. Thank you, everyone. This event was awesome. I really, really enjoyed it. Martins did not win. Martins got destroyed. He won one round on fouls, but he did not win. And this guy, Ben Holding, I like his commentary, man. I like his voice is like pleasant to the ears. I like it. I don't know what he has to say. I didn't pay attention to the commentary. I'm not listening to it. At least the audio is very low. But I like his Voice is pleasant to the ears. Dennis will pull on East versus West or not. It wasn't hard posting the rules. Now, man, you cannot even imagine J.R. Williams how many times I tried to talk with Engin to get the rules, and he was like, whatever, not interested in posting the rules. I was like, Engin, rules, where are the rules? And always his response, as anyone will tell you who has talked with Engin, his response when he's not listening to you is, I understand. If Engin says, I understand, it basically means either he is not listening to you or he doesn't agree with you. 90% it's that he doesn't agree with you, and 20%, 10% is he is not even listening to you. So I understand response from Engin is not a cool one. It's never a cool one. It wasn't Pradeep's idea, so that's why he refused. It wasn't Pradeep's idea. What wasn't my idea? Engin is gone for good. The sport will grow now. Hey Pradeep, what did you think of the production of this event? Amazing, amazing. I'm really happy. I'm really happy that arm wrestling is moving forward now. Devon didn't cheat. Europeans, come on. Devon didn't cheat. So you should cancel that letter that you sent to Robert Baxter. Engin sometimes full of himself make himself a stupid ass. Most of his critics are basically simple problem but critical, and if didn't want to fix it, maybe there's some corruption going on. Wasn't Engin a very good matchmaker? Yeah, he is. It doesn't take too much rocket science or arm wrestling science to have good matches. There were some terrible mismatches on this card, but they had to deal with whatever was available for this card. That's why we cannot blame it on them. But then it doesn't take too much skill to have good matches, but it takes too much skill to know which athlete is in what kind of shape, which athlete won WAF, what kind of style he lost to. So matchmaking is a lot of hard work. You need to watch all of the Asian, European, and WAF arm wrestling championships. Then also you need to be in contact with these athletes to ask them if they are injured or not, if they are recovering or not, if they are juiced up or not. That's one common question which Engin asks all of these arm wrestlers. I know that. If they're juiced up or not, if they're healthy or not. That takes a lot of skill set, and that takes a lot of connections. And it's not easy to do without Engin. It's not easy. I can tell them what's going to be a good match and what isn't. But then I don't know if Nurdaulat Haider Khan is injured or not. You need to ask him that personally. I don't know if Abdul Manaf Tuzuyev is arm wrestling or not, if he's taking a break or not, if he's off juice or on juice. Nobody knows that. That's the thing that Engin was good at, communicating with these European arm wrestlers. That's what they maybe need Coach Ray to do now. Coach Ray can do that. I think he can. Hermes has no chance against Devon both. So that's what Engin was saying. I'm like a mad scientist, 2-3 boards on my walls, trying to figure out matches, not just for the next event, but for the event after that as well. That takes a lot of arm wrestling math, and you need to spend a lot of time, maybe an hour every day, just thinking about the matches that you have to make. I heavily doubt he asked East versus West top 5 about their juice. I mean, look at them. Yeah, not them, but maybe because he keeps announcing. How do I know? He keeps hinting that on his streams. Yeah, this guy is doing a different preparation this time, if you know what I mean, and stuff like that. I watched that 50-minute Pro Punja League match, PPL match with Reno Thomas. Yeah, I think the Sikh got robbed. That was an amazing match. Reno Thomas versus Arshdeep Singh, Arshdeep Singh. Just watch that match, man. One of the best matches that you will ever see in the world. I said this and he was like, how can you say that these are not even the top guys? I didn't say they are the top guys. I'll say one of the most entertaining, one of the closest super matches that you will ever see in the world, period. Just watch that match. 90 kg super match. It was amazing. Kurdecha was able to work with East versus West. Why do the Eastern European monkeys need so much hand holding? Anyways, guys, thanks. I need to travel a lot today. I'll be ending this live stream right here. You guys were awesome. Thank you. Bye. Devon won both left and right. Then Alex Kurdecha lost to him. Eddie Hall won. Robert Oberst was defeated by Eddie. Richard Bowman won. Gabriela Vasconcelos won. Big Laws won. Then Derek Smith obviously won against Cyril Brown. I've discussed almost all of the results. So basically, whatever your predictions were, those were the guys who won. I'm quite sure most of the guys were predicting. Brian Shaw won. That was good. Brian Shaw won in the straps too in one round. That was surprising. Thank you guys. Bye. Yuvraj will beat Mazahir next year, not this year. Go play piano, Pradeep. Bye.